What is your favorite anime?
Mine's Skrillex.
Skrillex.
I'm so distanced from human sensibilities and stuff.
Was getting caught part of your plan?
Put your tray tables up and your seat in the full, upright position, because this is The Flight Plan, the official podcast of Big Guy For You Scanlations, Japan's #1 Bane-posting manga scanlation podcast. Join the flight crew, Tom and Aiden, hey that's us, as we bants about all the anime, the manga, and the scanlation content. Hey Tom, if you were a superhero, who would you be?
I would want it to be Danny Phantom because he helps the people. Oh wait, no, I mean, I would be Stella from. Oh no, not that one. Brawley from Dragon Ball Z. His power level is maximum.
So that meme reference, I don't know. I'm gonna have to put that image in the show notes or on the YouTube because that's a classic May, if you will, that goes back and talks about how what is he, like a 5-year-old that watched the Brawley movie in 1997?
Hi, it's me, Marcus Johnson, 8 years old from Roding, Fresno? I don't know. How would you pronounce it? R-O-E-D-I-N-G.
Roding, Fresno?
Roding, yeah.
Fresno is not a state or a country, is it?
No, this is a special page for and by the children of Fresno and the Valley. I think it's a California thing.
Yeah, well, yeah, because I know Fresno's a thing, but yeah. I didn't know Roding
Isn't Fresno like a sandwich or something?
Fresco is a drink.
That's what I'm thinking. No.
Yeah, Fresco.
I'm thinking of something that's kind of like an orange sauce to it. Like a sandwich with an orange sauce.
I'm picturing. Oh no, that's a
bacon
like
lettuce
a melt?
and tomato. Yeah, something like that. Whatever. It doesn't matter.
Because I know that's Steak and Shake.
We're not here to talk about Fresnos or frescoes or anything like that. We're
Fresco's
here to talk about. We're here to. You're right. Actually, we're here to talk about Dragon Ball Z Super, the Brawley movie, Brawley Returns, Resurrection of B.
His power level is maximum. I think it's just the Brawley movie.
No.
Dragon Ball Z Brawley.
I'll buy that. Okay. Cool. We did it.
So we're being topical this week. So I don't know if it's that topical. Didn't it come out in
like a month or two ago? Right?
Yeah, but it's still current.
When did it finally hit theaters in which we currently watched it? Totally.
Well, that was last week when we watched it legally.
Yes.
Procured it. What I thought would be cool is if we could somehow do a live stream of the movie and comment over it, but that'll get us removed from all the social networks immediately, so we can't do that. So if you just want to watch the movie and listen along, that'll be great as we just discuss how we liked it. Well, Tom, how did you feel about this movie?
Well, you kind of, before we get into that, you're making it sound like this will like time up and synchronize with the movie.
It will not, no.
No, but if you want to watch it while listening to this, that would be kind of interesting.
It would be
in fact, I might do it. I won't, but I might do it.
Well, you know how it actually works is like both of us we watched the movie independently.
Yeah.
But the movie theater we went to allowed you to pick what speed you want to watch it. So I listen to all my podcasts at like 2x speed.
Yeah.
And I actually watched the Brawley movie at 2x speed too. I thought that was a little fun tidbit.
I did 1.5, but whatever.
So it was only like 40 minutes.
So how did you like it? Did you like it at double speed?
I actually really enjoyed the movie. I thought it was a fun thing, and I don't really have any notes in front of me.
You don't? I have so many notes.
Well, that's good. Then let's go through your notes.
Okay.
Do you have my favorite part of the movie?
I don't know.
I'm sure you do.
I don't know.
If not, I'll bring it up when I get to it.
These notes are largely chronological.
Perfect. That's perfect.
So the first one, I said Goku's mom is a QT.
Yes, if I recall, yeah.
You know, because like Dragon Ball Z and Akira Toriyama, his female characters are generally not. They don't do it for me.
True, I agree.
And not saying like that she does it for me, but like compared to what I'm used to and what I expect from this franchise and from the artist, I don't know. I feel like there was a step in the right direction or something. Also, because Saiyan women tend to be like overly masculine, and that's not
bodybuilding.
Yeah, and she seemed
fighters.
Not that. So
yes.
There's like a contrast that really helped her in her favor.
So there's actually a little piece of trivia with her as well. She actually does a rare thing for Saiyans and doesn't wrap her tail as a belt.
I didn't notice that. What does she do?
She just has it out like a monkey.
Oh, okay.
So she's like you know how you ever see that picture where it's like monsters in video games, all the males look like big hulking monsters, but then all the women look like
women.
Look like
with like different colored skin.
Yeah, and with like maybe cat ears
horn.
or something.
Yeah.
So that's what she's like. She's like the equivalent of like a female monkey in that world. She just looks like a human with a little monkey tail. But yeah, I thought she was cute.
Well, actually, letting your tail loose is like a sign of liberation. They just went through women's suffrage.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So they can all turn into giant monkeys when the moon comes out.
Yes, now they have equal opportunity. The moon is now equal opportunity. All right, and on the topic of Goku's parents, his dad Bardock, what a guy. He's such a cool guy, dude. He went out like a champ. When Frieza like launched his giant kill ball at Planet Vegeta, Bardock was like the only guy trying to fight it, and he knew he wouldn't win. He knew that there was
it
no
was a
chance.
valiant, like he died trying to save his whole planet, which was awesome. I mean, it's futile, but we can all hope to go out like that.
I'd like to go out actually winning, not so much dying.
Well, we could all hope to be so lucky, but
Right.
Also, if you couldn't figure it out already, this is gonna have spoilers, so watch the movie beforehand. This is only spoilers for the first 10 minutes, so if you're already in it, like, don't worry about it, but from here on out, we'll probably talk about some plot things.
I mean, technically, this is spoilers for like really old DBZ lore.
True,
because it's common knowledge. With us elite DBZ fans, we all know that Bardock dies.
Well, I had to look it up because I was like, where do I know Bardock before? And I'm like, okay, he looks like Goku. Is that Goku's dad for sure? Like, I just wanted to make sure because I didn't know if that was in the past or anything.
Right.
It didn't start up like 100 years ago or anything like that.
Well, I'll forgive you for that because I forgot Raditz was his brother. And
Yeah,
even
yeah.
now, I don't know it for a fact. I'm
Yes,
just
he
pretty
is.
sure.
Yes, yes. And in fact, they even talk about that in the... He makes a cameo, but only as a child, right? When Planet Vegeta explodes.
Right.
And then I also got to give another shout out to Bardock. He knew right away. I don't know why some lowly grunt. He wasn't anybody special.
I think he was like a not a platoon captain, but like I think he has his own kind of ranking.
He wasn't royalty. He wasn't in charge.
Yeah.
And he was the only Saiyan that thought to think like, oh, why are they gathering us here together? They're gonna kill us.
Yeah.
And then he was smart enough to send Goku off in a pod like Superman off to Krypton.
Superman was based on Goku.
I've heard that's true.
Yeah. I think at that point that was kind of the backstory section, and then according to my notes, like the next thing was they were talking about collecting the Dragon Balls, and Bulma wanted to get the Dragon Balls, and her wish was going to be to wish herself being 5 years younger.
And her reason, Goku's like, why don't you just wish that you're like a teenager again? And then she's like, because everybody else will gossip. And I thought that was so funny.
Yeah.
And I love the casual aspect that they have now, where it seems like they're just collecting Dragon Balls whenever they want and making wishes multiple times.
Yeah, because it's a chore at worst. And in fact, the only reason that she hadn't done it was because the seventh one was lit in like Antarctica, and she's like, it's kind of a hassle.
It's kind of cold, yeah.
Yeah.
And Goku is like, oh, I bet you've been doing this for a while now. You've taken off 5 years before, and like she got mad. It's like from him pointing it out, and she does look younger, so it implies that they've been doing. Like she goes out, she collects the Dragon Balls in an afternoon, comes back and gets 5 years. Like
right.
The fact that they just have unlimited wishes like that. It's just so funny.
Well, two different things on that. So before she said her wish, I was actually thinking, wow, they kind of drew her. She looks a bit younger. So I don't know if that was intentional or not. But then the other thing was talking about like the casualness of collecting the Dragon Balls. I'm pretty sure in Super they're kind of like really casual with Shenron. Like they're like,
yes.
Yeah, hey, what's up?
Those were some of my favorite episodes.
Yeah.
What's so awesome about Super is that they're hanging out. Now they're best friends with the god of destruction.
With every god of everything.
Like, and he's like, they're just hanging out. Like, freaking, what is Anubis's name? I can't remember.
Oh, no, I can't know. I don't know either.
But he's just like...
Purple Man.
Yeah, he's hanging out. He's at the beach. He's catching the sun. They're like, hey, god of destruction, you want to come to...
Beerus.
Yeah, you want to come to Antarctica? And he's like, nah, I'm just going to stay here and eat some hot dogs.
All right, then watch my baby daughter.
Yeah. So Bulma hands bra. Yeah, like just, it's crazy. Like, I love the fact that Goku is so casual with even the super gods of the universe. And it's fun like that. And they even talk to Shinron. They're like, shut up sometimes. Like, it's like they were rude to him. And he's flustered because he's like, I'm the god of... Like, how... It's just hilarious. I love it.
it's kind of like subversive in a way, but I even do that in like real life. Like if I'm talking to my bosses or whatever, I'm casual. Like I don't use like, you know, honorifics or like anything like that. Like I'm just like, yeah, what's up, man?
Well, I would hope you wouldn't call your coworkers senpai. Boss senpai.
Boss sama.
But
well, you know, I mean, some people are kind of like formal to their boss. He's just a person. I'm just a person. I actually feel, and this is wrong because I'm the anomaly to think this, but I think like I'm kind of respecting them in a way by treating them like any other person.
By treating them as a human. Yeah, I was going to say something like that. It also shows confidence that you're willing to do that. It is a fine line though, so we can't recommend that unless you're really not autistic and know how to communicate.
Or the way Goku gets away with it is because he treats them kind of like equals because he is basically the power level of a god. So it's like,
with the mind of a child.
Well, yeah. So because he's a child, he doesn't understand like, you know, like power levels in terms of like honorific levels.
Yeah, that's an interesting point.
So yeah. I don't know where I was going with that. I think I already went where I was going with that.
We went, we gone, we saw, we came, he died.
But with Bulma's wish, going back to that, shortly after we learn that Frieza's trying to collect the same Dragon Balls. And I love what they did with this, just like the parallelism. Cause
this was my favorite part that I wanted to bring up.
His wish was like, to be 5 centimeters taller?
Yeah, because he's a midget all the time, especially...
Yeah. Excuse me, he's a little person.
He's a dwarf.
He's a munchkin from the Yellow Brick Road.
He's a Oompa Loompa.
Yeah.
But that was so funny. They're like, why don't you wish yourself 2 feet taller? And he's like, because then people will gossip. It's exactly the same. And I even love the point where... You know, they're not wishing for all, like, people are like, oh, are you going to wish to be immortal or to not take damage? And he's like, nah, because then that won't be fun.
Exactly.
Frieza's super powerful now than he's ever been. He's probably number 3.
And he's got so much growth potential that he's never even tapped into, even now.
And it's like, I love how casual they are with each other.
Yeah.
And then Frieza's subordinate is like, well, why don't you just go in your form 2 or whatever? Because that guy's like 10 feet tall.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I want to be in the normal form, in my ultimate form, gold form, Frieza Dorado. It's...
Yeah. Well, and it's kind of jumping around towards the end. But even at the end, like when, you know, when the whole resolution is resolved, you know, all the battles are resolved, Frieza like flies away and he's like, I'll be back. And Goku just kind of lets him go. He's just
they're
like
friends.
Sure.
They're like friends now.
I know, yeah.
Well, it's the same way. It's the same parallels between when Vegeta and Goku were super enemies and now they're like best friends.
Yeah, well, they're at least cooperative rivals. I mean, Frieza is still like an enemy in terms of like practical actions. What he does, he still wants to kill everyone and do stuff.
But that's how Vegeta started. I swear, if this goes on for another 20 years, they're going to be best friends. It's going to be
definitely.
It's going to be the 3 Musketeers.
Oh yeah, and it'll be cool.
It'll be awesome.
I like Frieza. You know? I like his attitude.
We got into Dragon Ball Z back when the Frieza saga, the whole Namek thing, was going on Toonami.
Well,
and I think we've talked about that in episodes before.
We got into it earlier too. I mean,
but that's when I really really got into it and like embraced it. And I feel like now I like Dragon Ball Z even more than I did back then. I think it's
because it's more fun. I think back then it was slower, kind of boring, and even now there was a lot of that in Super. But I don't know. I think you could skip it now, and you don't have to wait a week.
Yeah.
So
and everything was so much drama back then. It's like, oh, they're all fighting, and now it's like a fun show. Yeah. It's like it's almost. I want to say it's jumped the shark, but not in a bad way.
Well, it has definitely, but I mean, the stakes are objectively higher. Like we're talking about universe erasure versus like planets exploding. Yeah.
Versus somebody dying, and now when somebody dies, it's not even an issue.
Yeah, like, I you know what? I just thought of this. I wonder if a lot of that is the difference between dub Goku and Japanese Goku.
What do you like better? You like the English dub or the Japanese dub? Because basically, it turns them into 2 different stories.
Well,
it's 2 different people.
It's like Superman versus like a sociopath who just likes to fight strong guys.
Like a child.
Yeah, I like them both for different reasons. Just because of like, I feel the new tone of Super. I kind of am digging.
It's childish.
I'm kind of digging Japanese Goku, but yeah, I could go either way. It's more entertaining. Badass. Yeah, I think English is like a better better story almost.
It's more compelling because he seems like a hero.
Yeah.
He seems like a man instead of a child in a man's body, which is what he is in Japan.
I think this is stupid, but if you're giving Dragon Ball Z to a kid to like learn life lessons from or whatever, definitely give him like the dub.
Yeah,
but
the English.
You know, as an adult who can understand the finer qualities of Japanese animation, I think Sub Goku's better because he's more fun.
I think that's agreeable.
All right. So that was all preamble basically, and now, according to my notes, we have reached Brawley, the main man of the movie. My first note, it just says Tarzan. So immediately, they're setting this up because he is Tarzan, and what was her name? Chilai? She is Jane.
Okay, I could see this. Now, do we want to jump in and talk about her right now, or do we want to stick with Brawley?
We could do whatever, man. Let your heart take you wherever you want to go.
Well, speaking of,
let your heart be your guiding key.
I'm gonna let my heart guide my key into Chile. What's her name? Because I'll tell you what, I've seen so many threads just talking about how she's best girl, definitely best girl of the movie.
Oh yeah.
I'm normally not into the short haircut, but she seemed like a great character. She's now married to Brawley. Spoilers. That's the headcanon.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, what do you mean? How can you say spoilers and then say it's headcanon?
Because so she obviously likes him as much as you can say in a Dragon Ball Z show because they can't show like emotion like that.
Right. I mean, they don't even kiss.
Yeah.
Like canonically.
Canonically, Goku's never kissed. Yeah. Which even Vegeta has. Vegeta shows more love to his human family than Goku ever has, and Goku's supposed to be the good guy. But
only in the dub.
There's even an end scene where she's going back to visit Brawley, and she's like talking to her friend that's also a guy. She's like, "Oh, are you sure you want to come with us? It's just gonna be me and Brawley." And he's like, "Oh yeah, that's more the merrier." And she's like, "Really?" Like, she wanted some alone time, but yeah. So, but that's towards the end. I think she's a good girl. Fun personality,
sure,
spunky,
and I feel like she's the most sexualized DBZ character in the canon.
I think that's why so many people popped off on the movie. Like, they're like,
I bet.
Boom. And I saw, before I even knew the movie was out, I saw a bunch of threads about her. I was like, who's this new character? Is this from I'm assuming from Super. It didn't look like it was from the manga or anything.
Right. Yeah, see, I'd probably seen, like, her design or whatever, but I didn't know, like, I didn't read threads of anything or whatever.
There's one scene where she's looking out of the porthole on the ship, and she's just got her, like, butt, and 1/3 of the entire screen is just focused from her butt like, into something else.
And then they even do, like, a back, like, camera angle of that same scene. Like, see, they really kind of, like, emphasized, I think, like, they would draw, like, her curves, for lack of a better word, because she is kind of tomboyish, she's not like curvy, like
she's got the tomboy GF.
Yeah, I don't know, I wonder if that's a new direction, because like it's kind of surprising to me DBZ's never gotten into like the fan service angle.
That's true. And she's got the short shorts. They're like spats.
Yeah, I see you've pulled up a picture. There's even that scene where she like stretches out like her chest piece or whatever. You remember that?
Oh yeah,
because Brawley isn't wearing like his new Vegeta like army regulation like.
Oh yeah, uniform. Yeah, and she stretches out. You see a little bit of cleavage and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and she's perfect height, perfect body proportions, green skin, which a lot of people are into these days.
Yeah, sure. I mean, if the Guardians of the Galaxy.
If she had longer hair, she'd be pretty good.
Yeah, but you can't have long hair when you're in a combat situation. She's got a practical hair.
Well, she's not a fighter. She's like a thief, isn't she? She's not a powder level. There's no way she can fight.
You're right, and
she uses a gun.
Doesn't Videl in Super have longer hair? She grows it out, right? Well, see, once she becomes a housewife, then she grows out the hair. That's the DBZ rule.
The first time we meet Videl, she had braids. Dual braids going down to at least her shoulders.
Like those pigtails.
I thought that was a great haircut. I was upset when she cut it. But
was that for like a Mulan kind of like independence thing?
I don't think it was independence. I think they went to a tournament to fight.
Oh, okay. See, it's a practicality.
Yeah,
it's always a practicality.
Oh yeah, here's that picture of her.
Oh yeah, yeah. You're
So
just scrolling through pictures here. I see.
Yeah.
I'm looking at your laptop.
That's a good expression on her face and everything. That's like the
Yeah, well, now you have to include it in the show notes.
Well, okay, let me save the image.
Oh, now you have an excuse.
Yeah, that's my excuse. I'm gonna go to Rule 34 and.
But it like I was saying, it's definitely like a Tarzan kind of
Yeah,
dynamic.
so she's. Let's get into the story, and then you'll understand why
Sure.
Brawley is that way. So let's hit your next notes.
Well, I don't have notes on the backstory.
All right. Well, the thing. So Brawley gets exiled. Obviously, we're not going to recap the whole movie, but the reason it is because he grows up with his dad in the middle of a alien planet where all he can do is fight the creatures that live there.
Sure.
So that's the Tarzan thing, and then she's a well-versed, street-smart.
Like Rogue.
Rogue would be a good thing,
like
yeah.
a space cowboy kind of, or like a bounty hunter thing, like a Han Solo maybe.
Yeah, so it's exactly like Tarzan in that.
Yeah, because Jane was also Han Solo. They were played by the same actor.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. Anyway, my notes don't have any story stuff, and at this point, it's just like battle stuff.
Perfect. Let's go.
Because like half the movie was fighting, which I feel like there was actually a good balance between like plot exposition and like fighting.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
Yeah, because I mean DBZ, you do want a lot of fighting. That's kind of the whole thing. But in my advanced stage, I have grown to appreciate the plot for what it is. At least it's not gonna win an anime Oscar or whatever they have, but it's still fun.
Global anime. I don't know. I was trying to make a pun with an Oscar, but you can't.
It's not gonna win a Crunchyroll Anime Story of the Year award.
A crunchy. I'm trying to think like a crunchy tuna roll. I was trying to think like a name of a sushi platter.
I don't know, but they actually have like Crunchyroll awards.
Do they?
Yeah.
Weird.
I've seen Mother's Basement talk about them before. Anyway, so the fighting thing, so Brawley's whole backstory is he was exiled because he was stronger than Prince Vegeta as a baby when they were both babies. And his whole grudge is against Vegeta and mainly his dad, but since his dad's dead, the main Vegeta that we know. So, of course, that should be the main fight. Vegeta versus Brawley.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it starts off with. But like every fight in DBZ, Vegeta gets wrecked and then Goku has to step in. It's really sad every time.
To be fair, Goku also gets wrecked here, and the way that they end up winning is fusing. So you can say that's both. See, the thing, the thing with the feud is Brawley's an idiot. He's
true
for the most part.
He's Tarzan.
And it's mentioned several times that when he gets angry, when his power level snaps, he loses all consciousness. He's not even worried about the thing anymore.
He doesn't even know who he's fighting. Probably.
Yeah. He didn't. So he's not a rival with Vegeta or Goku.
No,
he doesn't even know what's going on.
Well, before he attacked, he did know that was Vegeta that he was about to attack, and he did know the grudge because his dad was telling him, what's up.
Right.
His dad was kind of like
Machiavellian, pulling the strings. He's the puppet master.
Yeah, because he also wanted revenge, I think, and Brawley was kind of his mechanism by which he would get it.
Right.
So he wasn't like the best dad to Brawley, but you could see where he was coming from. He was also kind of blinded by revenge. But yeah, Vegeta got messed up, and that was kind of sad. But you can't have a DBZ movie without Goku fighting, so I do understand.
Right. Well, what I thought was funny, and somebody else pointed this out, so this isn't a...
Hey, you can't be taking other people's hot takes. You can't admit to it, at least.
When Goku... So Goku's like the only one that can instant transmission for whatever reason.
Yeah, well, I'm going to interrupt you just for a quick aside. Where did we... Because we, of course, saw this in an official movie theater, wink, wink. But if we were to say have downloaded it from the internet and gotten subs, were those official, or do you know? Because they didn't call it instant transmission.
What did they call it?
It was something like I don't know, instant movement, or like they called it something off.
I don't know.
It was a valid
might just
translation.
Be in the dub, that
because even instant transmission isn't like too literal. It's got a little bit of flair to it, and it's great, and it's like a DBZ word. But they call it something else, and they also called Gods of Destruction's destroyers.
Interesting.
Beerus was like, "Oh, you trying to be a new destroyer, Goku?" And he's like, "No, I just I fight stuff, whatever." and that really bugged me. There were a couple of those. Shenlong instead of Shinron.
Oh, I didn't even catch that one. But yeah, there is a bit of a difference between even the dub sometimes has different conflicting things, like the official ones.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember where you were when I interrupted you.
I was complaining or I was trying to figure out and remember why Goku's the only one that can instant transmission. Because when he's getting beat, what's cool is he tricks Brawley into fighting Frieza in his rampaging state, and he grabs Vegeta's hand and instant transmissions away, and they transmission to Piccolo, and they're on the ground, and Vegeta's like, "Why are you holding my hand?" He's like so averse to because Goku doesn't care. It's like
Vegeta's like, "Nah, bro, I'm not gay."
He says no homo, but it's just so funny. And then later they're like, "Oh, what? We have to fuse? Like we have to do the dumb dance? Like I don't want to dance with you. Like I'd rather die. I'd rather the world explode." Like, and then Goku is once again he uses the thing. It's like, "Oh, you sure you want your wife and your family to die with him?" And he's like, "Grr, you got me," which is because Goku would have just let his whole family die.
Yeah, he would. Well, if he could fight someone strong, he probably would.
He would kill his whole family for fun, and then be like, "Oh, I'll bring them back later with the Dragon Balls." Like, if I get them ever. Like,
he wouldn't necessarily be wrong, because that's how it works.
And then he'd be like, "Well, I'm gonna go around the universe while I have the free time before I collect the Dragon Balls, because I can do it at any time.
I'll go fight stronger guys before I get the Dragon Balls."
Yeah, so Vegeta is like the most human out of any of the Saiyans.
He's a sweetie, a real sweetheart.
Vegeta's the main character. It's he's the best.
Well, I think they complement each other a lot, because I vacillate between who's the best between the two.
They're the quintessential 6'0" and 5'11" characters, which is so frustrating to Vegeta.
Because he is actually shorter, too.
He is,
You're right. Brutal. Manlets, when will they learn?
Manlets rise up.
They can't.
Oh,
no. Speaking of Piccolo, though, because you're talking about how they teleport there, Piccolo was like telepathically communicating across the whole globe with Goku.
Yeah, they can do that.
Since when?
I don't know. I mean, if Goku can teleport that far.
Well, that's different. He learned that from like a race of teleporters who like lived on a planet where all they did was teleport. Something like that.
Oh, that was when he came back from, and Trunks was there. That's the beginning of the Cell Saga.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
Sometime around there.
Yeah.
He did have it before Cell, because that's when he...
No.
What? He had it when he teleported Cell out of there when he blew up, so he at least had it before Cell.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. At the beginning of the Cell Saga.
Okay, yeah, and I said he had it before Cell.
Right when Trunks comes.
Okay, well,
you could technically call that the Android Saga.
Okay.
But they're all kind of the same. The Android Saga is the prequel to the Cell Saga.
Yeah. They kind of run into each other. But teleporting back, if we were to instant transmission back to that fight, it's kind of weird. I don't know if you picked up on this, or if you were too enamored with the flashy graphics with your pea brain.
I was pretty enamored with my smooth brain.
An enlightened galaxy mind such as mine. I noticed that even though they're in a land full of glaciers, they somehow activated volcanoes and it became a lava world. Yeah. And then later it became icy again. It flipped back.
I don't remember it getting icy again, but I think the thing was that they blew out the water so much that they hit like the crust of the earth or something.
And it was just like superheated, or maybe the crust is supposed to be. I don't know.
Because it did go through phases. Like eventually the area melted first. So they were fighting in an ocean for a while because they had just melted all the ice around them. Yeah. Which is neat.
It's a lot of cool, like just weird like set stuff like that, like set design.
The effects in this were definitely feature-length film quality. Yeah. The fight scenes, the camera, the cinematography of these fights were probably the best I've seen in Dragon Ball Z in a while.
Dude, there was... I'm skipping around, I think, but there was like a first-person section where it was from like Brawley's point of view fighting Goku. I don't think they've ever done first-person, and that was just so novel and cool. I really liked that.
I loved the camera movements as they would circle around, as they flew around. It was fantastic.
And I mean, it's hard to do, I think, a DBZ fight in any new way nowadays, because it's the same thing where it's just like, you've had so many fights throughout the series, how can you do anything new? And I think they kind of did new stuff.
Yeah, definitely. The choreography of the fights did seem a bit different, if just for the fact that it was new camera angles. Yeah. And I don't always remember this. I didn't see the whole tournament arc in Super, but they went Super Saiyan red, and then green, and then like they were
green
all
was
different.
new. Green is like a Brawley thing.
It's just Brawley.
It's possible. The Universe 6 or 7, whichever one had the girl Saiyans. One of them might have gone green. The Brawley equivalent, I think she might have.
Is that a parallel path to blue? Like, okay, first of all,
No, I think
what's more, blue or red?
Okay, so I should have looked this up because I don't quite remember. But blue is God for sure, and I think red is kind of like a more sustainable energy conservation form of blue.
So it's like the Kaioken, because that was the original
Kaioken
red.
Is red.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if I remember in Super, like he's like, I merged my god powers with my techniques of Kaioken.
He did do
think
that at one
that's-
point, but I don't quite think that's what red is. I
Okay.
think.
Well, hopefully someone leave it in the comments and let me know.
I guess we should be saying Kaioken, as they've corrected it in recent dubs, I believe. But that's just a red outline, and it doesn't affect the hair color, where Super Saiyan Red does.
Right, but okay, if you're Super Saiyan and you go Kaioken, maybe it'll turn your hair red.
No, it does not.
Maybe if you Super Saiyan God and it turn, maybe if you want it to turn red.
I'm saying that I'm pretty sure it doesn't.
Well,
What
we'll
if
have
you
to,
dye it red?
Yeah. It's like,
Yeah, what happens if you dye your hair, go Super Saiyan, and then revert back? Does it stay dyed? Probably.
You know, I don't know if they've ever talked about the actual mechanisms that change the hair.
No.
Is it just that it's glowing and it turns yellow? Or does it change the dye?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's ever really answered that. Yeah.
Nobody's
I'm
been
sure people
retarded
have
enough to
cared.
care.
Are you kidding? This is anime. We're all autistic.
Yeah, but it's a DBZ. It's like...
Dude, look at the power
it's
levels.
The cool guys. Oh, you're right.
Yeah, all the
Never-
power
I take it all
levels
back.
With,
I take it all back.
Super Saiyan Rolf.
Okay, well, this
Shaggy Rojo.
is a smooth little slide into the next thing. Talking about power levels. If his power level is maximum, Brawley's, how come he couldn't rip off that shock collar? He later does when he goes like green mode.
Because
But he could have ripped it off. It's just like weak
Because it would
steel.
hurt.
Hurt what?
it would shock him. He does it on purpose. He does it because his dad wanted it on there. He's not averse to the shock collar because he can't even control his own power. So he's
Fair.
like, this is for my own good.
Fair. You know, I'll buy that. And even if he didn't understand it was for his own good because he's a primitive monkey brain, he could understand that, like, that's kind of what his dad was saying to do that.
And if
he
his
is
dad
kind of a
tells him
daddy's
to-
boy.
Yeah. Well, he's the only other human who's saying that he's known.
Yeah, hard to not be. Let's see.
You know what was interesting is that in the movie, Bardock's wife, I forget her name.
Yeah, I don't know. They said it like once.
Well, she's like, it's so rare for a Saiyan man to take care of his son and not run away.
Yeah.
And I think we've seen both Vegeta's dad, Goku's dad, and Brawley's dad have all gone extra and above for their sons.
Not Vegeta's dad.
Well, you can argue that it was just for the lineage. He wanted to be the most powerful. But you could also make a small argument. It probably leans to the fact that it is just for power, but he did take special care of his son. He wanted his son to be the most powerful and the best. And
Yeah.
so there is some extra stuff there.
I wouldn't say that it was for his son's benefit. I think it was more for pride in like the whole Vegeta name, the Vegeta like bloodline, and just because it's like you don't want to be outstaged if you're the king.
That's fair, but I think
There's
there's got to be some Venn diagram around it.
Yeah, but he
because we
didn't
don't
seem
see
very
him a lot.
loving.
We don't see him a lot. There's not a lot of him.
Yeah.
So
So
who knows?
Well, I would err towards my interpretation because yours requires assumptions. Based on what we saw, I would not call him a loving dad.
Who knows? I think the jury's out. I think the most we can say is neutral. But
I called up
anyway.
Akira Toriyama before this. And I said, "Hey, moshi moshi," and
Moshi, Jesus desu.
yeah, and he hung up. He said, "No American. I do not want to talk to an American."
No burger.
Yeah, pizza, hamburger, French fry. Well, that was Chinese. Never mind. We kind of skipped, or I kind of missed my chance to talk about it. But when we were talking about the animation, we kind of ignored the elephant in the room of the CG.
Okay, I didn't even notice CG. I'm not Not really. No. I mean, I can tell when something goes 3D, but I'm just like, oh, They do the 3D in a sense when they're trying to do like fancy camera movements.
True.
So you can be like, that's just what animation looks like when it's moving. Like, it's a different... You can tell there's a difference in the animation, but it's because something really active is happening. They never just have, like, CG... like tween motion where they
right, like Goblin Slayer. Well, you haven't seen it, but like there were a lot of like CG moments where he's just walking.
Oh, that's lame.
Yeah.
Every time they do CG here, it's like in a big action scene with lots of effects, so you can almost miss it. I mean, I think that's how to do it.
CG scientists have kind of perfected the DBZ look to where it looks really good. Obviously, you still know that it's CG. Stop saving Chile pictures.
I'm putting this so we can have a slideshow in the episode.
All right, well, we got to do that then. Where was I got distracted. Like I was saying before, I got distracted by you being distracted. They've perfected the CG look for the fighters, and even though you still can tell it's CG, it's very palatable. It's very bearable, I think, unless you're like a diehard purist. But what really got me and what stuck out is like really weird were like the explosions that were done in CG. There were a few sections where there was like a huge, like, you know, a dome kind of explosion and like the whole environment like shifting kind of like, you know, that kind of like scene.
Yeah.
And that was all CG, and it just looked really weird and really out of place. Like there was no anime, there was nothing hand drawn on the screen during those sections.
Did you watch it at normal speed? Because like we said, we both watched it quick.
It was at 1.5, but everything else looked normal or fine or acceptable, you know, whatever your adjective of choice is. So I think even at 1x speed, it would have looked weird.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I don't mind when they're doing action shots of the characters, but I couldn't get over the CG explosion. And talking about real like ridiculous fight scenery choices, what happened when at one point they broke space-time and they were fighting in like the cosmos?
I don't even remember that.
It was the weirdest thing. I guess they powered up. I forgot the exact like transition, like what kind of justified it, but it reminded me of the Zone Within the Zone or Zone Beyond the Zone from Kuroko. But it was weird. They were like, it was like funky deep dream, like Google deep dream stuff.
Oh yeah. I don't remember that, but
yeah,
I'll have to rewatch it.
It was cool, don't get me wrong. I really liked it. It just didn't make any sense, but I think I'm barking up the wrong tree if I'm trying to understand DBZ and trying to have it make sense.
They just went to the level beyond the level.
Yeah. All my notes are nitpicks.
Oh well, let's hit through them.
This one's actually a positive thing. We kind of talked about like Super Saiyan Green and stuff. I like how they have parallel power level systems.
I think that's good too.
Yeah.
It makes it more complex. If it's just a straight level, then you'll never do that one. You'll never do. So it's like a specking. You get to pick what Keyblade form you want to go into, or like what rock paper scissors. Even if they had like this one's super powerful, but I can only hold it for 8 seconds, or this one's a less powerful but a longer thing.
Yeah, and they have that what you're talking about, specking kind of like pluses and minuses a little bit with like Super Saiyan Red, Super Saiyan Blue kind of stuff. But like Brawley's green thing, we don't know how that stacks up, and I like that. Because if we knew, like, oh, green is, like, beyond God, then, I don't know, then it just becomes whose hair is a higher level.
Yeah.
And I like the ambiguity there. Because then you focus on, like, the fight, and I don't know. If a Super Saiyan blue guy is fighting a normal Super Saiyan, you know who's going to win.
Right.
It's the blue guy, every time. But this way, obviously Goku's going to win, but...
Yeah, well, I think you point out a very excellent thing that you need in storytelling, whereas like we all know who's going to win in the end.
Yeah.
We didn't know how they were going to win. I thought they finished the fight in an interesting way. Cauliflower or whatever her name. What's the green
Chile,
girl?
I believe. I hope I'm right.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know. You keep looking up pictures of her. What'd you type in?
It's
green girl?
Chile basically steals the Dragon Balls from Frieza and says, teleport Brawley back to his planet. I don't know why she said there and not like make him him like recover from his thing, like make him normal again. You know, I don't know why you wouldn't just say that.
She's not known for her her thinking skills. She's known for her spats and
That's true.
her form-fitting outfit.
That's true.
But I have some complaints. A couple of my nitpicks focus around that very scene.
Excellent.
Earlier, she sees the Dragon Balls and she's like, "What are those?" And then later, she summons Shenron. I don't even know anymore. They messed me up with the subs being not Shenron. She summons a dragon and makes a wish. How does she learn about the Dragon Balls in that time?
You didn't see that?
No.
She kidnapped Frieza's second in command and held him at gunpoint to teach her how to summon the dragon.
How does she know that that's the thing you can do if she doesn't know what the Dragon Balls are?
Maybe that's a plot hole, but that could be easily explained off camera where she hears somebody talking or Frieza talking or somebody else.
I mean, everyone's like watching the battle and stuff. Somebody's just walking down the hallway. It's like, hey, you hear about those Dragon Balls? They can grant any wish.
I didn't mean to shush you. I was gonna say
I didn't
she
take it
is
that
the
way.
type of like spunky go-getter type of like sneaky style, like can gather information and things like that. That's kind of, I don't know, it's a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, you can kind of make sense of it. Like I said, it's a nitpick. And then the next nitpick with that scene is that it's a very constant theme throughout with Shenron, especially in the Super series, that he can't do anything against anyone stronger, basically.
Really?
Yeah.
That makes
like
sense.
otherwise they would say like defeat Cell or you know defeat insert bad guy.
Anyone stronger than Shinron.
Basically, yeah. And Brawley's like his power level's maximum. He's like the strongest known entity, probably. I mean, you know, could be like Beerus might be stronger, but how do you wish him away? How do you teleport him away?
Well, here's the thing. She didn't ask to defeat him. She said teleport him away.
Even then, because you could say teleport Cell to the end of the universe.
But that would defeat him. Or
yeah. See, I feel like they didn't know how to. You can't defeat Brawley. Like I've got a friend who keeps up with One Piece, and he's talking about how there's this guy who's like invincible in the manga, and like Luffy's about to fight him, and even Oda is like, I don't know how Luffy can beat him.
Really?
Yeah, because
is it Blackbeard or who's he fighting? Kaido?
Yeah, I think so.
He's one of the horns. 4 pirate lords.
He has horns, and he like tries to kill himself, but he can't because he's like too powerful.
Oh, I don't know. I'm like a year behind with One Piece.
Yeah, I'm back at the time skip.
It's fun. It's a good one.
In one of these days, you know, when I retire, I'll have time. But yeah. So I feel like that's the same thing with Brawley. They're like, oh, well, Brawley has to lose, but we can't.
Yeah, but how?
We can't write in something plausible.
I think teleporting out, if this hasn't been already established canonically, I think teleporting him is not the same as doing that. And you could see. Could there be a thing where Brawley's subconscious wish, like maybe the fact that he's mind broken at this point, makes him easier to move, or it makes it possible? Maybe that was his secret desire because he doesn't want to fight these people.
I would think though that since he is in the Rampage form, he would be less compliant and less able to like cooperate. Like I just said the same thing twice.
Yeah, I think I know what you mean. I think we'll never know. Maybe.
Yeah. Like I said, it's a nitpick. Who cares? It's DBZ. It's fun anyway.
Yeah, it's a fighting show.
Yeah.
Fighting.
Let's see. I don't know what this means, but I think that there was a song with lyrics, and it was weird because I said singing was ridiculous. Now, I must have totally forgotten it because it was a few days ago that I watched it. But I remember now. When they were fighting, there was like lyrics on the word.
I remember that. Yeah.
It was like Kamehameha or something.
Yeah.
It's like Goku. I don't remember what the words
was
were.
like Brawley, go Brawley.
Yeah. It was like
Goku,
narrating.
Goku, Brawley.
Yeah.
I was like, really?
I mean, I kind of liked it because it was goofy and ridiculous, but at the same time, it was goofy and ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, what were they thinking? Maybe. Because I know Japanese people like to have music with like English or English or anything like that.
It's very trendy.
But I don't know. It was really silly. But that's the end of my nitpicks.
Well, overall, what would you rate it?
Super Saiyan Blue out of
green.
SS4J.
I'll give it a it's a SS plus. It ranks up there with Shaggy Rojo,
Nice.
and Cell Dorado.
Nice.
It was pretty good. I think I've seen most of the Dragon Ball Z movies, but
seen
those were
very few.
years ago. So I had a fun time watching it in the theaters this time. So if you get a chance to go watch it.
Yeah, definitely.
Hopefully you've already seen it because we probably just gave you the whole story.
Yeah, well, whatever. You don't watch DBZ for the story. I mean,
That's
you
true.
could watch it for the story, but you would be wrong, like me. You don't want to be wrong like me.
So I do hope that we do get to see them in Super coming up.
We will definitely, just based on what I heard from you just now about the fan reaction to what's her name.
Yes,
So
hopefully.
she will be returning in Avengers, and obviously Brawley will too, because he's such a fan favorite that he became canon through this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is basically a remake of the original Brawley movie, which
Very
I
true.
probably haven't seen, and if I have, it was so long ago. There was a time in college where we were watching all the DBZ movies, like me and my roommates, and I just fell asleep during all of them, which is really weird. I don't normally fall asleep during stuff, but there's something about the movies, they're just so boring.
Well, they're kind of like mesmerizing would be a good word
Maybe,
for
yeah.
it, where it's like,
It was probably late or something too. But
yeah, all those college kids like to stay up late. I'm trying to get in bed when the sun goes down.
yeah, trying to get in bed when the sun goes up.
I'm one of them 30-year-old boomers.
Yeah.
This will be an actually interesting segue to we're not going to do a manga minute, but how about a controversy corner? So who knows if Brawley is going to be in Super, at least not right away, because his voice actor, IRL, just got #MeToo'd.
Well, that doesn't stop anybody from anything. I mean, Bulma's Japanese voice actor died. And Bulma's still in the anime. Like,
That's funny, because it was Bulma's voice actor who #MeToo'd Brawley's voice actor
well,
for this movie.
you're talking about the English Brawley voice actor. I'm talking about the Japanese
All right.
one.
Well, it's still the same. So it's like
I wonder if they got one who's 5 years younger. That's kind of a dark joke, but
that's funny. But yeah. So it was a big controversy going around. Funimation was the dude.
He didn't get Me Too. Maybe I'm thinking of a different guy. I just heard recently there was like an anime voice actor who got fired because he wouldn't sign. He has a rule where he doesn't sign non-canonical fan art, and somebody wanted him to sign fan art of like one of the characters that he voiced and another male character in like a gay ship, and he's also I guess he doesn't like that as well, so he had like two reasons to not sign it.
Yeah, okay. I can understand having a personal religious preference not to sign something that goes against your stuff.
Yeah.
But the non-canonical thing is weird. That's not in his contract, or
I don't know.
that's just his rule. That's weird.
I heard this like fifth hand.
But that's not our guy Brawley here.
Really? So this is a different.
Yeah, his name is Vic,
controversy.
and I was actually looking up Brawley reviews and stuff for the
Brawley
movie.
trivia.
Yeah, and I saw this really weird looking YouTuber who was calling out Digibro, so I disavowed that.
Who was that guy?
Well, let's not mention his name.
I'm curious. You could tell me later.
Yeah, I'll tell you later. It's he was anti Digibro. Dude,
a lot of people are. For good
whatever.
reasons.
Well,
and bad reasons.
This dude is a Crunchyroll sponsor guy, and he got mad at Digi for not liking Crunchyroll. And it's like, dude, is
what
so
a show.
yeah. And then I saw another video of Double 4 Anime calling out this dude with Trash Brain. So shout out to him. Anyway, that was all 5 months ago.
I'm so confused.
That was 5 months ago, so we're late to the party. But basically, this ugly dude, he's got pubes on his lips. He's
You
promoting...
gotta make it personal. Oh, well, that could be Digibro. You're talking.
No, okay.
You gotta pick your
This,
allegiances carefully.
So this you'll know because he's got the worst mustache I've ever seen.
Get to the point.
It looks disgusting. I almost vomited. I actually thought.
Who are you even talking about?
I thought he was a crossdresser.
Who are you talking about?
This I'll tell you his name. His name is.
No. I mean, who in the story? What role does he play? Because
he's a YouTuber.
Okay, so
that's mad at Digibro.
Okay, but what does that have to do with this Me Too stuff?
I'm gonna tell you.
Okay.
I saw his video on this whole stuff, and he jumps on promoting the story that the Brawley voice actor got Me Too'd, and he jumps on the women's side immediately, and he's all upset in the video. He's like, "Believe all women." Like all idiots, he jumps to convict someone without any proof. He's just hearing some made-up story. So Brawley's VA got fired from Funimation because some made-up story and proven fake tweets. It was this whole drama. Like they faked tweets to make him worse than... There's all this like fake information out there. I mean,
is it confirmed that he's innocent?
There's no trial. It's not... He didn't... It's... There's no police things. There's no anything.
Well,
it's just
sometimes the truth can be known without law, and I mean, even oftentimes
the evidence that we know shows it's Bulma's VA. She said, "I'll tell my story," and then people were calling her out, and then she's like off of all social media. She had to get a lawyer to say, "Anybody harassing me, I'm gonna sue them," or things like that. She's very suspicious. If there's evidence, we can condemn him. But until then, you got to stand with Vic, and he's...
If only everyone were as skeptical and enlightened as us MGTOW roasty haters, and then they would rise up with us. And
us
Vic.
Incels rise up.
Yeah. And the manlets can join too.
Yeah.
Well, there's probably a big Venn diagram overlap.
Yeah. And this pube face dude was just immediately to jump on
No, I thought the incels were rising up. What do you mean?
Well, no, this is a pube face dude. He's not like the same. But it's like the whole issue is, the moment accusations came, he was immediately thrown under the bus. No trial, nothing. Immediately thrown to the wolves and fired immediately. It's awful what they can do to somebody with just fake accusations.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I feel like we're veering far from our
It's anime related, and this is going to be a great clip.
It's more politics related, but
yeah, but
right.
it's related. There's no way we could talk about Brawley without talking about something
look.
like
As
this.
long as you name all the YouTubers in the metadata for the clip, then it's okay.
They'll be in the metadata. I'm not going to say their name.
The main question, though, that this rises effervates into my mind, if that's even a word. You said this happened 5 months ago?
No. That his beef with Digibro was 5 months ago. This was just recently.
Okay, because I was gonna say 5 months ago was probably before they did the recording for the movie.
Yeah.
So it's like,
this is kind of off the cuff here, but
very
and
confusing.
you're not coming to us for hot news takes. This is just kind of what I've heard,
right?
And Tom's first reacting to it right now.
Sure,
so.
yeah. I'm being red pilled as we speak.
Yes, I can feel my brain expanding. This is my brain on BioShock.
Yeah.
But I just think it was important to say, it's like, you can't punish somebody when the evidence isn't even out, and you can't go and fire somebody over accusations immediately. I think that's totally wrong. Hashtag stand with Vic. First they came for the video games, but I didn't stand up because I wasn't a Gamergator. Then they came for my anime, and I didn't stand up because I wasn't a weeaboo. I don't know. I just wanted to kind of use that phrase.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely are a weeaboo, though. So.
Yeah. Well, anyway, let's.
So now it's time to rise up because you're a weeaboo.
Speaking of rising up, let's do hashtag I stand with Vic so we can pad out this episode in time length and maybe get a clip out of it too. I think
great, excellent, great motivation.
Also, just so we can get demonetized on.
Well, we're not monetized to be demonetized, and in fact, with that politics, controversy, whatever aside. Let's wrap this up so you can download more pictures of Chilai.
Excellent. Well, don't you guys want the slideshow as you're watching it on YouTube?
Well, it's too late to ask them now if you've already done it. I don't know if you will or not.
Oh, I can't believe you've done this.
Yes. Well, so where can they watch the slideshow of Chilai?
You can watch it on the YouTube, which just search for the Flight Plan Podcast or Big Guy for You. Well, probably you won't get it with that because there's a lot of memes doing that.
No, you will now because we're the best.
That's probably true.
And I haven't checked it, but I know in my heart.
You can also check out anchor.fm/theflightplan. We're also on all the RSS feeds and things like that. Google Podcasts, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Stitcher, things like that. So just check it out. Look for the Flight Plan. And all the things are in the show notes, too. If you want to support us, there's a little link at the bottom where you can buy all your good anime stuff. Yeah, you say that every...
I know. Because I feel the same way every time. My opinions don't change. I'm an unchanging rock. I'm too old, You can't... Your opinion doesn't change once you get past a certain age.
Well, you're just too old to be flying this plane. Can you see all right with your geriatric?
Sure, I can see the manga that I upload on Mangadex when I do. And got like the Gabs and the Twitters and stuff. I feel like I should do something with social media, like post something.
Ideally, yeah, we should.
I don't know what to post though.
I don't know.
I had an idea where it was like I post I did X pages today just to kind of keep myself like accountable. Thank you. But I don't want to do that.
Yeah, well, if you guys,
because then I'll have to admit how many days I don't work on anything. So,
that's true.
I don't know. We'll see. We can brainstorm maybe ideas for social media stuff.
Excellent.
Because I've always had this fascination with like the Twitter type social media, but I've never known how to use them, so I've never done it. It's like a perfectionism, like too scared to start kind of thing. But I went on for too long about something unrelated, so I think that's all the social media stuff you need to know.
Well, I don't know how to fly a plane, which means this is probably going to be crashed.
Alright, and by this, I think you mean the podcast, and by crash, I think you mean with no survivors.
With no survivors.